Hello and welcome to Indigo Empire. In this video, I want to talk a bit about my opinions on spiritual growth and what it's all about. Because that's a question that I frequently see on spiritual groups on Facebook or sometimes in the comments on YouTube videos. When people start to get into these kinds of things, they usually hear about this expression and they get curious and they want to know more about it. So this video may be for beginners, or maybe someone are just curious to know what my opinions are on this topic. So I hope you enjoy this video and the information that I wish to provide. So firstly, when I talk about spirituality, I talk about it in its own pure form, and not religious spirituality. And maybe to some people that can be like a strange thing to say, but really you do not need religion to be spiritual. You could remove all religion and still be spiritual. And like you can also believe in God and not in religion. Those two does not necessarily have to go together either. Like when people ask on Facebook groups, when religious people ask atheists, like what if science could prove the existence of God? What would you do? I have seen that questions repeated sometimes on those groups, and they don't actually have anything to do one with the other. Even if you could prove the existence of a God as a creator, as an superior entity, as the Almighty, or whatever, it would not prove one specific religion correct. So those are three different subjects altogether. So I'm just talking about the spirituality that are within us, that are within man, uh, or women within mankind, that kind of spirituality. So one may wonder, like, what do we mean when we talk about growth? What kind of growth are we actually talking about? And my opinion is that we are talking about a way for us to get more energetic, to get healthier, to get in a better mood. Or you can look for another type of growth where sometimes people have some kinds of spiritual gifts or abilities, and maybe you want to improve your abilities, or maybe want to develop new abilities, which I also believe is possible. I think if you are not a healer, that you can train yourself to become a healer. If you're not a medium, you can train yourself to become a medium. Uh, I think that for some people it may be easier than for others. That depends on many factors, but maybe I can get into that in another video. So um, to me, it all boils down to becoming more conscious, to becoming more aware about the invisible aspect of reality, because we do live in a dual reality where we have the reality which we can observe, we can see with our own physical eyes, that we can touch, and there is also the reality which we only feel, which we cannot observe directly. And in many cases, science approve on many of these forces which we cannot see and we cannot observe, but which we can take notice of the effect of the of this force, like gravity. So in this sense, you can say that spiritual growth is in general just growth. uh, it's in the scientific sense too. If you can like compare it to science, like and how science has grown with the time, has also been by means of becoming more conscious about the things happening around us. Now the discovery of gravity was just by observing one object falling to the ground instead of floating into space. And even though we did not know about gravity before, it has always existed and it has always helped us, aided us, been a part of our daily life, even if we were not conscious about it. So as time passes, we become more and more conscious, we become more and more aware about these invisible forces and effects happening around us. So sometimes we cannot see what causes this these kinds of forces, but we can see the effect. Uh, and I think that is also a big part of the metaphysical world, about the esoterical world as well, that there are energies, there are vibrations that are difficult to catch up on, and you can train yourself to become more conscious and to become more aware of these kinds of frequencies and these kinds of invisible forces, and then you can start to work with them in a way where you also can harness some of their energy in your own growth. And so that is like, that has been a part also of my personal spiritual growth, because I come from a very strict religious background, and then I become very critical, but I have always been sensitive. So I have always, like, I have felt things very easily. I am a natural empath. I have a very strong intuition, and so I have not, like, I never became like a pure scientist, even though I see the science in many pseudoscientific things, in many esoteric things. Uh, I would have to prepare videos for those kinds of subjects. Uh, but anyway, so how how can we grow? By what means can we grow? And there are different types of approaches, but one of the most important things maybe is just to start, to try things out, to not be scared to try things out. And as you try things out, you will see whether it works or not. So sometimes you will first see if something works. And if it works, maybe you will not understand why it works or how it works. That will come later on. uh, so some people try yoga, some people try meditation, some people have a little bit have a more scientific approach. Or they go to the books, they go to the internet, and they read. Uh, some people go to the crystals. Some people go to, they get healed themselves, and by seeing that other people can heal them, sometimes that also wakes the interest. But by all of these different kinds of things, they make you a little bit more conscious. So what um, there are these different kinds of steps which you can take. Now, reading, meditation, all of this. Meditation, in one sense, is just like a forced daydreaming under calm circumstances, where you just try to focus on one thing or one event, and you visualize it and you work with it, and you put yourself in a hypothetical daydreaming position where you like work out a process or a task or something, and you just wander within your mind, within your own imagination. So it's just you get conscious within yourself, with your own being. And then if you do yoga, you get conscious about your body, your physical body, how it works in union with the spiritual body by breathing. You start to wake up centers that you didn't know you had, muscles that you didn't know you had. And then you breathe, you take deep breath, and you can feel how you get more conscious physically. So, but in that sense, as you get more conscious, you also become more aware. So then you will start to feel easier when there are things happening around you, and how they are affecting you, and how you can work with those things uh, in in the practices you want to do. um, because there are many energies around us. Thoughts creates energies, um, emotions creates energies, words manifests themselves physically also. So as time goes by, and the more you learn, the more you try out, the better. um, So I think in general that's basically what, what I want to say. That is what the spiritual growth is all about, and that is how you can approach it. You know, you can also become more conscious on a daily basis, just in the things that you do. You know, just make a mindset before you start something and do something for a reason. Then you become more aware about the things that you do too, the things that you eat, how you sleep, who you talk to, how you talk, why you talk the way you do, and all of those things can help you. You can also study mindfulness, which is also helpful, and you can implement those kinds of things in teaching as well. And so, when it comes to spiritual growth, you don't have to like become a witch, for example, right away, or you don't have to like start with spells, or you don't have to like take drugs or things like that right away. um, I would recommend that you study the theory first, and then you start slowly, while you let yourself become more conscious and more aware. I think it is important to have a very high level of awareness before you try like to do rituals, like detailed rituals, or like different kinds of magic. And then when you like become more conscious about your surroundings, about the invisible forces that helps us and governs us, and you become more conscious about yourself, your own body, and your own abilities, then you can choose what fits you the most. Because there are different types of things that you can do. You know, you can be a healer, a foreseer, a medium. You can work with the nature, you know, green magic. You can work with emotions, which is red magic. You know, like low rituals and stuff like that. Or you can do white magic, which is that is more the healing part, opening the path, those kind of things. Or if you want, you can also do black magic, which is more usually a little bit more harmful towards others. Uh, Personally, I believe in karma, so I stay away from it. I like to learn about it. I think no knowledge is harmful, you know, but it's the practice that can be harmful. But knowledge is never harmful. So uh, I read about anything, even though I don't necessarily believe in everything, or maybe I can be critical to some things, or maybe I never want to do the things that I read. But in general, knowledge is not a negative thing. So these are my thoughts on spiritual growth. I hope I made my I made my message clear, that it was not too difficult to understand. I will be making more videos, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. So have a nice one.